see, the people of India from the prehistoric period has contributed to the people of the world. Prehistoric, okay, we know that the history is divided basically into two parts, the pre and the post historic periods. Okay, the for the easiness we have divided the time into BC and AD. Okay, so the prehistoric period have also contributed a great to the people of India before the birth of the Christ. Okay, the art and the architecture and the sculpture are 5,000 years old. See, the art, architecture, the sculptures are 5,000 years old. The remains of the Indus Valley civilization is an evidence of this. Now, Indus Valley civilization, you might have heard this particular word. There are 5 civilizations that are very considered very ancient. First is the Indian civilization. Second, the Chinese civilization. Third is the Mayan civilization. Fourth is the Mesopotamian civilization. And fifth is the Egyptian civilization. So these 5 civilizations are considered as ancient civilizations. And out of this, the Indian civilization was born, or rather developed, on the banks of the river Indus, and that's why it is known as Indus Valley civilization. It is an evidence of this on seeing by being the remains of the figures of the god and goddesses, humans, animals, and several toys, as well as sculptures of a beard man. This particular sculpture, beard man, you might see. Okay, and the statue of a dancer. Okay, the statue of a dancer. Now, this particular sculpture, beard man, is dated around 2200 BC to around about 1900 BC. Means it is very old. The exact date is not known, but it is from 2200 to 1900 BC. This particular sculpture is also known as priest king. Priest king. Now, why he is known as a priest? So there are a lot of things that is resemblance to a priest. Priest means a holy person, a person who is devoted to worship of God. Now you can see a armband, a headband around his forehead, then a shawl wrapped around his body. Okay, and his eyes are closed halfway as if he is meditating. So historians have thought that this person is a priest. Now that is not exact, but they have a type of assumption to this particular fact. Okay, let us see. Furthermore, we look at the figures of a bullock and lion. Let's see. Okay, the bullock and the lion. Let me just rub this thing, and I will be able to. Okay, so this particular picture here tells us about this is a tablet that was found from Harappa, and this is about a god who is sitting on a lotus, and this lotus is inverse, means it is ulta, not in the right side. Here you can see different kind of animals surrounding him. A rhino, elephant, ox or a bull, tiger even is found, possibly a goat is also found. So this tells us that even before 5,000 years, we were very important. Animals were very important to us. Now we also find from the Maurya era the statue of Gautam Buddha. Okay, this is the statue of Gautam Buddha that we can see. Okay, these are also the different, yes, these are different kind of tablets that were found from Harappa. Here also you can see different animals. Okay, like here you can see an animal, possibly a goat or a cow. Here ox is there. Here again a horse or a cow. Then here tigers are seen. Okay, again ox and elephant is also seen. So they were very animals were very important for those peoples in ancient times also. This particular statue is from the Mauryan era, okay, and it is of the Gautam Buddha. Now we can see the caves of Ellora, which are situated in Maharashtra, which were developed by the Rashtrakuta dynasty, were also very important pieces of art into India. By seeing this heritage, we feel proud, glad, and also respect of our cultural heritage. Our cultural heritage accommodates palaces, buildings, sculptures, stupas, vihars, chaityas, temples, mosques, tombs, forts, and gates. All these things are included into our cultural heritage. Why? Because we have made them. Now you might be knowing many of the things, but I'll tell you about these three things. Stupas, you know about stupas. Stupas are basically the temples where remains of Gautam Buddhas are kept. Vihars are the places for people, the Buddhist monks, to stay. They are like the hostels. They are like the hostels. Chaityas are basically the temples or the worship places for them. Even historical places of our freedom, like the Sabarmati Ashram, which is situated in Ahmedabad, Dandi, Badoli, Varda, Shantiniketan, which is situated in Kolkata, are important places. Delhi, etc., can also be considered as a part of our cultural heritage. Beside language, scriptures, discovery of zero, mathematics, calendar, astronomy, iron, literature, religion, Yuddhasastra. This is a very important Yuddhasastra. Okay, that is the science of war. The science of war was also an important part of it, because there were a lot of wars in that times. Chariots is Rath, political science. Okay, political science is the book, and the theories of Chanakya is very famous, right? Zoology, botany, Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra is the science of dwelling. Science of dwelling. Dwelling is house. Religion, republic, judiciary, legislature, environment, protection, etc. are the important discoveries of India. So, dear children, we have seen in this particular video, the parts of this video, about what is culture, what is heritage, different kind of heritage, that is the natural heritage and the cultural heritage, what is included into the natural heritage. So you need to take your textbooks, study, read it, and see it if you can understand it in a better way. Hello friends, today we'll continue our session from the first chapter of standard 10th. Today we are going to see about the cultural heritage of India, and in that we are going to see about the cultural heritage of Gujarat. Now the places having cultural, legendary and archaeological importance are Lothal, which is situated into Dholka Taluka. It is a very ancient site and it is connected to the Harappan civilization. It is a town basically built in the same system like the Harappan civilization. The other places of the archaeological importance are Rangpur, okay, which is situated in the Surendranagar district. Rangpur, which is situated in the Surendranagar district, is also very important. You can see Rangpur here. Dholavira, which is on in the bay of the Kutch, you can see here near is also a important town, again belonging to the Harappan style of architecture. Ruzadi of Srinathgarh in the Rajkot district. The other places of pilgrimages. Now, places of pilgrimages means the places for worship. For worship, okay, what we call Chhatradham, are the Victory Tower of Vadnagar. Victory Tower of Vadnagar. You can see the photograph here. The stone inscription of King of Ashoka. We know about King Ashoka. He was a very great king, right? And after one of the battles he fought, he decided to follow the path of non-violence. So he had inscripted his teachings of Buddha at various places. And one of the places, such place, is situated into Junagadh. You can, the photograph which you saw is into your textbooks, belongs to the stone inscription of Ashoka. Then we have the Sun Temple of Modera. Then the gate of Champaner is also there. Rudra Mahal of Sidhpur is also very famous. Mansar Lake is also very famous. We are going to see that into the next slide. Jama Masjid of Ahmedabad, which is also a very famous place of Gujarat. Julta Minara or the shaking minarets. Now, the science behind why they are shaking and how they are, what is the mystery behind it is still unfolded. Siddhi Sayyadni Jhale or the Grill, temples of Hateh Singh, Sahasraling Lake of Patan, Raj Mahal of Vadodara, tomb of Mohammad Khan. These are some of the places which are very famous. You can see Mansar Lake here. Then Jama Masjid, which is situated in Ahmedabad. The Julta Minar. You can see here one of the minarets is not there. Now why it is not there? Because it is being taken by the Britishers for study over it. They wanted to know why this particular minarets are shaking, why they are moving, as they are made up of stone, but still they are shaking. This is Siddhi Sayed Grill, which is a very famous mark of Ahmedabad. Parsi Agyari of Navsari is also worth seeing. Right, this is Parsi Agyari of Navsari. Then there are other places having religious importance are also there. There are a lot of places in Gujarat which are religious important. The most important one is Dwarkadish temple, which is situated in Dwarka. Then there is this Shardapit of Jagadguru Shankaracharya, which is also situated alongside it. Somnath temple, you might have visited Somnath temple. It is one of the 12 Jyotirlings that are situated into India. Ambaji temple, which is situated in the northern side of Gujarat. Then we have Bahucharaji temple. You might have visited that also. It is situated in Mehsana district. Ranchodrai temple in Dakor is also very famous. And Shamlaji, which is situated in Aravali district. These are some of the very important religious places situated into Gujarat. Well-known religious, social and tourism oriented places in Gujarat are Polo Forest. Now you might have gone to Polo Forest, which is situated in Vijayanagar, Sabarkantha district. It is a very good place to visit, and especially into monsoon. The nature has manifolded itself into this particular forest into a great way. Then we have the Kite Festival, which is celebrated every year in the Kakaria Carnival, which is organized in Ahmedabad. Then Tanariri Festival, which is celebrated in Vadnagar again, and Northern Dance Festival, which is in Modera, and the most important one, Ran Mahotsav in Kutch, which is celebrated for the White Ran, which is there into Ran of Kutch. Tourist places for Jain and Buddhist. Jain and Buddhist, there are tourist places in Gujarat also. See, consequently, Jain and Buddhist caves are seen at various places in Gujarat: Vadnagar, Taranga, Khambhalia, Shamlaji, Koteshwar, Talaja. This particular photograph is of Talaja caves. You might see caves here. If you go to Talaja, which is 50 kilometers from Bhavnagar, you can see a mountain with Jain temples on the top of it and caves situated on all sides of it. Now, fairs of India. Okay. Now, this is a very important table that you need to remember. You need to understand it. There are various fairs celebrated in all the districts of India, of Gujarat, sorry, and they have different importance. We are going to talk about few of them. The first one that we are going to talk about is the Tarnetar Fair. Now, Tarnetar Fair, you might have seen, it is celebrated in Surendra districts, and this is very famous fair which is celebrated basically for choosing the better half or life partners, right? Here people come up with beautifully designed umbrellas, okay, and they are well decorated themselves to find a good partner for them. The second one then we are going to discuss is the Dang Darbar. Dang Darbar is basically a tradition which was started during the British rule, where the Darbar basically means all the heads of different tribes used to get together into a Darbar, means a type of a gathering, and this is a same tradition being followed every year. This particular festival is celebrated in March or April, and it is celebrated in Awa of Dang. The third fair that we are going to see about is the fair of Golgadhera fair, which is in Dahod. You can see. Now, this is a very important why I have taken it, because this is a fair which is celebrated after holding to find out brides and groom. Now, what is seen here? You might see a pole there. This is a 40 feet tall pole, and young men try to climb over it, while ladies hit them with the stick. Okay, and the person who is able to climb it first wins. So this is the Golgadera fair which is there, and it is celebrated to find the life partners of it. Now we are going to see about land and people of India. Now India is a land, such kind of a land where different tribes came and settled. Say, primitive man came into existence simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time. At the same time. In India and in eastern southern Africa. Okay, so this was the same time when in India and in southern eastern Africa the human being or the primitive man came into existence. Mesmerized by varied and prosperous heritage, many foreign tribes came to India. So they were mesmerized, they were attracted by the prosperity of India. They came and settled into India. Consequently means as a result of. The remains of all the tribes are found here, and that's why you can find different kind of tribes into India. Now, the Dravidians were considered to be the most ancient people of India. Dravidians were considered as the most ancient people of India. But the modern researchers, till now it was believed that Dravidians are the ancient one who have come and settled into India. But the modern researchers of linguistic is language. Linguistic is language, and anthropology anthropology. Anthropology is basically science of origin of humans. Science of origin of humans. Okay, they have proved that even before Dravidians, 6 more tribes came and settled in India. See, before Dravidians, the research which is done, they show that 6 more tribes were there which came and settled into India. Let's explore them. The first one were Negroids or the Hubsi people. Some historians believe that the Negrate or the Negroes are the most ancient inhabitants of India. They are considered to be the most ancient inhabitants. They have come first. They came from Africa via Balochistan to India. Okay, see, they came from Africa, okay, via Balochistan to India. They were black. Now, what is their characteristics? Then you can see they were black, having short height. Okay, now you can see this particular. They are black. Their complexion is very black. Then they were black, having height of 4 to 5 feet. Their height is about 4 to 5 feet. They are not too tall. And the most important characteristic is curly hair. They have curly hair. They settled into India in various parts, and in Gujarat they are known as the Hapsi people. We can see this particular photograph. You can see, right? These are the people with the features of Hapsi into India. The curly hair, short height, flat nose. These are some of the characteristics of the Hapsi people. Second were Ostroids or Nishad people. People of this tribe came from Southeast Asia. See, Southeast Asia. You can make these points and write notes on it. Their physical features were black skin with broad head. See, they were black skin and their head were broad. Flat nose. Their nose were flat in comparison to other people. Short height, etc. The Aryans who came later to India called them Nishad. See, the Nishad is the name given by Aryans. The origins of the tribes like Kol, Munda, Khashi, and some of the tribes of Assam and tribes of Anbar and Nicobar have similarities of Ostroids. Their contribution in the development of Indian culture and civilization is immense. Immense is great. Immense is great. They made clay utensils, wore cotton clothes. They used to wear cotton clothes, and they knew many other skills. They had great religious belief. They were believed in religion too. The third were the Dravidians. Originally, Dravidian belonged to India. See, originally they belong to India. They are considered to be the real descendants, real people living of India. They were the direct descendants of Stone Age civilization. See, they were the direct people, and they were the creator of Mohenjo-daro. So those people who made Mohenjo-daro, they were Dravidians. But later on, as different tribes came into India, these people were forced, okay, into the southern side of India. The tribes which came from north survived with the language and culture features. Later, see, you can see how they were basically into this particular part. But as people came from top side of India, like the Aryans and others, these people were forced to settle into the southern side of India. Right? You can understand it? So, later they were called, okay. These people also gave the thought of concept of goddess, mother as goddess and father as god. So, the thought of Parvati and Shiva, we know about Parvati and Shiva, as mother and father developed. Moreover, the tradition of worshipping nature is the gift of the Dravidians. The tradition of worshipping with dhoop, that is incense stick, deep, that is lamp, and arti are considered to be the gift of Dravidians. Beside nature and animal worship, etc., Are there great features? Original deities of Dravidians have been accepted by Aryans and were re-established by them as god of culture with pace of time as time passed. The real deities means gods, okay, were accepted by Aryans and they re-established them in a different form. Under the tremendous influence of North, Aryan culture was deeply internalized by the Dravidians. Okay, there were intercar marriages that took place. Dravidian had matriarchal system of family. Matriarchal means where female is the head. Female is head of the family. Dravidians progress a lot in different crafts and art like building of boat, raft, weaving, spinning, dyeing, etc. Due to the dominance of Aryans, they shifted to South India and settled there. As a result, today we can see the people speaking Dravidian family languages into southern side. Now, Dravidian family languages are T, T, M, K. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. The TMK is a short form to remember it. Other tribes that came to India were Mongoloids, Alpines, and Dinars. Amoroid tribes also were there into India. Now we can see here the form tribes of Mongoloids. They came to India from North China via Tibet and settled at the northern Assam, Sikkim, Bhutan, West Bengal. So people of this particular states, you can find the features like them. They gradually Indianized themselves. See, they Indianized. How did they Indianize? They accepted Indian names, they accepted Indian titles, they married with Indian people, and due to that, they Indianized themselves. Mongoloid people possessed physical characteristics like yellow complexion, flat face, chubby cheeks, almond shaped eyes. See, their eyes are almond shaped eyes, etc. Having yellow complexion, Mongoloid were also known as Kirat. They were also known as Kirat. This needs to be remembered. Alpine Dinar and Armenoid. These people migrated from Central Asia. See, they basically came from Central Asia. They were the nomadic tribes. All these three tribes have similarities. The origin genes of these tribes are found in large numbers in Gujarat, Saurashtra, Maharashtra, Bengal, and Odisha. Right? So you can see they are basically from the Central Asia. They almost look like Mongoloids, but they are little bit different. Okay, so Aryans are also nature lovers. Now they loved nature a lot. They loved and worshipped trees. Okay, they loved and worshipped trees a lot. The trees, the rivers, mountains, sun, wind, and the rain. They gave a type of godly importance to all these things. The trees, the rivers, mountains, sun, wind, the rain, etc. And same is into our culture. If you see, this all are considered as God. Okay, this all are considered as God. Like wind is considered as Vayudev into our culture. They have composed hymns. Okay, they are kind of bhajans, you can say, or prayers for praying to various natural elements. In due course of time, some religious ceremonies like recitation of Vedas. Okay, there were recitation of Vedas, performance of yagna, different kind of yagnas were also performed, and other activities became prevalent to India. So these people were considered of the originators of, or the writers or the creators of the Vedas. The four Ved, they are creators of Vedas, and during that time only the recitation of Vedas, performance of yagnas, and other activities started. There was a fine amalgamation. There was a fine amalgamation. Amalgamation is mixture of this tribe with their specific style of living, and harmonious culture was formed, which gave India a glorious and prosperous heritage. These foreigners and Indian tribes amalgamated in such a way over a long period of time that they lost their individuality. This needs to be remembered, that the foreigners, all the 6 tribes which came to India, they settled into India, they accepted the Indian culture, they accepted Indian titles, names, and all of the things, and they mixed up, they amalgamated, they mixed up in such a way that they lost their own individual identity. They were no more Negroids, they were no more Almonoids, they were no more Kirats, but they were Indians now through intercaste marriages and so on. Outsiders and local people were greatly influenced by language, scripts. Scripts is the written form of the language. Names, they accepted names of them, and religion, beliefs. Played a vital role in Indianizing these foreigners. This all things played a very, very important role in Indianizing these foreigners. Okay, what? Language, scripts, names, religious beliefs, etc. were important things that Indianize this for us. In ancient times, a composite culture have been created in India. A mixed culture. Composite is a mixed culture has been created into India. They all then became Indians. They all then became Indians. In short, in ancient India, the amalgamation of various cultures enrich Indian culture by making it variegated and prosperous. It made it variegated, various, and prosperous. Now comes the preservation and the conservation of heritage. Preservation and conservation of heritage. Each aspect of Indian heritage made India eye-catching, picturesque, and attractive. Picturesque is very, very beautiful, okay, good looking, and attractive. Heritage brought glory to India. India attained a leading position in the world by keeping its rich heritage protected and preserved. Okay, so India kept itself very, very high into the position by preserving, by protecting the heritage. Thus, it is a primary and pious duty, say pious, holy duty of every citizen of India to see that nobody harms the ancient monument. You might have seen when you go for traveling and that thing at old places, there are a lot of people who are destroying or who are writing their names on the buildings, forts, trees, everything. That should not be done. That is not a good way to conserve our heritage. And also, say, having historical importance and values. In our constitution, the fundamental duties, now we have studied into detail in 9th standard about fundamental duties of India. Of Indian cities are mentioned into Article 51A. This needs to be remembered. It is mentioned into Article 51A. This is the photograph from your textbook. This is from your textbook. You can see here Constitution of India Article 51A, and in that 6 and 7, point 6 and 7 tells us about it. Okay, see, to protect, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture, to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and to have composite compassion for living creatures, to develop scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry for the reforms of it. So this all are our fundamental duties, and as a part of our fundamental duties, we need to preserve them. Let us see what are the other things that are given into the duties. First, to understand the importance of our harmonious culture, prosperity, and to preserve it. Second, to maintain the forest, tanks, rivers, ponds, and wildlife. Not only buildings, but all the things. Okay, whether they are living or non-living, that has to be preserved and maintained well. To protect the public property, this is very, very important. Right now, you might have seen there are people who are destroying public properties. They are alighting the buses. They are destroying police stations. They are destroying roads, railways, and everything. That is not to be done. It is a crime. It is a crime, and that should not be done. Instead, we need to protect public property. Why? Because it is developed for the people, by the people, and of the people, by the government. And giving up violence. Violence is not the culture of India. Violence is not the culture of India. Actually, Gandhiji gave the principle of non-violence. Right? So we should follow non-violence. Thus, nature has created beautiful landscapes. We should maintain the purity. This is very important. We should maintain purity. We should not uh, make it dirty. Okay, sanctity and beauty of this place is considering it to be our moral duty. So that is our moral duty. The Indian heritage is an outcome of the development of the people of India over a long time. So it is not a new culture. It is a very old culture and that have developed over a long time gradually. Nature has generously donated abundant prosperity to India. This is very important. Nature has gifted us lot of things to India, but to take care of them is our moral duty. India achieved invaluable opportunities in all the fields of for gradual development due to India's peculiar natural structure. Our structure is we know about them that we are surrounded on three sides with water, right? And due to that, we are a great country to live in. Okay. Then we have a natural wall that is Himalaya, right? In this way, the heritage is a result of development of people of India in the social. See, what is development or what is heritage development? Then in social, economical, money-wise, political, and cultural field of over centuries, right? So with this, we complete our chapter. I hope you have understood it. I will be putting a short test of it and the links will be provided into your WhatsApp group. Thank you for